All right, let's dive into this. Ever find yourself drowning in spreadsheets? I mean, we've all been there, right? Especially when it comes to sales commissions.
Oh, absolutely. A tale as old as time, or at least as old as spreadsheets.
And trust me, no one wants to spend their Friday afternoon deciphering formulas instead of, actually enjoying that sweet, sweet commission they earned.
Right. Talk about a motivation killer.
Exactly. So today, we're tackling that very problem. Can software actually make sales commissions, dare I say it, FUN?
Fun might be a tall order, but hey, I'm willing to be optimistic.
That's the spirit. And we're focusing on one company in particular, ElevateHQ. They're all about ditching the spreadsheets and streamlining the whole commission process, but we're not just taking their word for it.
We're digging deep. Got to separate the hype from the reality.
Exactly. So let's start with the basics. For anyone who's lucky enough to have avoided this particular spreadsheet nightmare, paint me a picture. When do those simple commission calculations go from 0 to 60 in terms of complexity?
I'd say the trouble starts when you're dealing with anything beyond a very basic commission structure. Like if it's just, hey, sell this many widgets, get this percentage. A spreadsheet can probably handle that.
That's always a but.
Right. Realistically, sales comp is rarely that simple. We're talking different commission rates for different products or services, performance bonuses, maybe even some kind of team-based incentive thrown in for good measure.
Not to mention those spiffs to get people excited about that new product launch.
Exactly. And suddenly, that spreadsheet that seemed manageable is now about 20 different tabs, a million different formulas. Good luck even finding what you need in there, let alone making sure it's all accurate.
And that's when those minor spreadsheet discrepancies start turning into major headaches.
But you know it. Missed payments, frustrated sales reps, accounting pulling their hair out. It's a recipe for disaster.
And that's where ElevateHQ swoops in with their capes on.
They'd like you to think so. But whether they're the heroes we need or just another software promising the moon, well, that's what we're here to find out.
All right, so less chaos, more clarity. That's the dream, right? But software companies love to overpromise. What makes ElevateHQ different?
Well, one thing that stands out is their focus on flexibility. I mean, that's huge for any software, right? But especially when it comes to sales commissions.
Because no two sales teams are exactly alike. We've all got our own little quirks and processes.
Exactly. And their whole pitch is about being able to accommodate that. Like, they talk about integrating custom fields from your CRM, which is something a lot of solutions kind of gloss over.
So if I've got a unique way of tracking deals or classifying leads, it's not a deal breaker.
That's what they claim.
Yeah.
And they give examples on their website handling multi-tiered commissions, bonuses based on all sorts of different criteria, even situations where multiple reps are splitting a commission, which, let's be honest, is a recipe for a headache if you're doing it manually.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like trying to divide by a fraction of a percentage point to really kill the mood. But okay, let's say they can handle the complexity. What about the learning curve? Because time is money, and I don't want my sales team spending weeks figuring out a new system.
Right, that's the other side of the coin. They actually boast about a 4-week implementation time, which is crazy fast for enterprise software.
Okay, but fast doesn't always mean good. I've seen those seamless transitions turn into total nightmare.
Oh, absolutely. And data migration is where it can get really messy. So that's definitely something I'd be scrutinizing. How do they ensure you're not losing data, duplicating entries, or just creating a bigger mess than you started with?
Right. The last thing we need is to solve one spreadsheet problem and create another.
Exactly. So yeah, speed is important, but it can't come at the cost of accuracy or integration with your existing systems. Speaking of which, how does ElevateHQ handle scaling? Because sales teams can grow or shrink pretty quickly.
And your commission structure probably needs to adapt right along with it.
Exactly. You don't want to be stuck with a system that can't keep up. And to their credit, ElevateHQ really emphasizes scalability. Adding new team members, changing commission rates, even overhauling the whole structure they claim it can all be done quickly and without needing a tech guru on speed dial.
That's good to hear because honestly, one of the biggest selling points for me, and I'm sure a lot of sales managers would agree, is the automation aspect. Just taking that manual work out of the equation.
Oh, it's huge. And it goes way beyond just saving time, though that's a big one, obviously. We're talking about reducing errors, boosting morale.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. Explain how.
Think about it. When you're relying on manual processes, there's always room for human error, right? A number gets transposed, a formula gets messed up, and suddenly you've got a commission dispute on your hands.
And those can get ugly.
They can really erode trust between sales reps and management. Reps start second-guessing their payouts, spending more time trying to track down missing commissions than actually closing deals.
Yeah.
It's a lose-lose situation.
Whereas if everything's automated, the thinking is that it's just one less thing to worry about.
Exactly. ElevateHQ talks about real-time commission tracking, so reps can log in at any time and see exactly what they've earned, down to the penny. No more waiting for the end of the month, no more cryptic spreadsheets to decipher, just clear, accurate data.
And hopefully a lot fewer frantic emails to accounting when the numbers don't quite add up.
Precisely. It streamlines the entire process from the initial sale to the payout, which is good for everyone involved.
Okay, so we're saving time, reducing errors, building trust. This is starting to sound like a win-win-win, but I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the elephant in the room data. Everyone's collecting it these days. What makes ElevateHQ's approach to data any different?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Because data for data's sake isn't particularly helpful. It's about what you do with it.
Love that you brought that up,
Yeah.
because it's not just about having a bunch of fancy dashboards and reports. It's about turning that data into actionable insights.
Yeah.
It's about making the data work for you, not the other way around.
And that's where I think ElevateHQ really shines. They're giving you the tools to actually USE that data to make smarter decisions about your sales compensation plans.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me an example. How does this actually play out, say, for a sales manager who's trying to boost performance?
Let's say you're launching a new product, right? And you want to get your team excited about it. You could just wing it, pick a commission rate that sounds good and hope for the best. Or
There's a better way.
you could use ElevateHQ to actually simulate the impact of different commission structures. Like, what if we offer a higher commission for the first quarter? What do we tie it to a bonus structure based on hitting certain sales targets?
So instead of guessing, I can see the numbers play out in real time.
Exactly. You can see the projected earnings for each rep, the impact on your overall sales goals, and get a much clearer picture of which approach is going to be the most effective. And not just effective for the company, but motivating for the sales team too.
Makes sense. Because a demotivated sales team helps nobody.
Right. And this data-driven approach, it's not just for new products either. You can use it to fine-tune your existing commission structure. Like, are there certain products or services that are consistently underperforming? Maybe the commission rate needs adjusting. Or if you're seeing high turnover on a particular team, it could be a sign that the commission structure just isn't aligned with their goals.
It's like instead of just putting out fires, you're using the data to prevent them in the first place.
That's a great way to put it. It's about being proactive, making strategic decisions, and creating a system that's fair and transparent for everyone involved.
Speaking of transparency, we've got to talk about how ElevateHQ handles that whole aspect of motivation. Because as we both know, it's not always about the money, even in sales.
Right, there's a whole psychological element to it. People want to feel valued, they want to see that their hard work is being recognized, and they want to have a clear path to increase their earnings. And that can be really tough to do when the commission system feels like a black box.
Where even if you're doing well, you're not entirely sure why you're doing well.
Exactly. ElevateHQ, on the other hand, they really emphasize transparency, like giving reps detailed breakdowns of their commissions so they can see exactly where their money is coming from.
Instead of just seeing a random number hit their account at the end of the month.
Exactly. They even offer these personalized nudges like, hey, if you close one more deal this week, you'll hit that bonus tier. It's about giving reps that extra bit of motivation and showing them that their efforts directly translate to rewards.
Okay, but let's be real. Even with the best systems in place, there are going to be disagreements. So how does ElevateHQ handle those inevitable commission disputes? Because I've seen those turn ugly fast.
Oh, they can be a nightmare. And that's where having a dedicated system in place can be a game changer. ElevateHQ, for example, they have features specifically for dispute resolution. So if a rep disagrees with their commission statement, there's a clear process for flagging it, submitting documentation, keeping everything organized.
So no more whispered accusations by the water cooler or passive-aggressive spreadsheets circulating.
Hopefully not. It brings everything out in the open, which is better for everyone in the long run.
Well, that's the dream, isn't it? Transparency, fairness, maybe even a little bit of fun along the way.
Right? Who knew we'd be saying that about sales commissions? But honestly, I think it speaks to the power of technology. Because when it's done right, it can make these complex processes not just tolerable, but actually, dare I say it, enjoyable.
Dare I say, maybe even a little bit empowering.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, it's about giving people the tools and the insights they need to succeed.
And who knows, maybe this is just the tip of the iceberg. If we can streamline sales commissions, what other aspects of the sales process can we revolutionize?
Now, there's a thought to leave you with. It's an exciting time to be in sales, that's for sure.
I couldn't agree more. Well, on that note, let's wrap things up. A huge thanks to our expert for diving deep with us today. And to all our listeners, until next time, happy selling.